right, welcome back to B4, which is, well, I usually say it at the beginning of my episodes, but it's bourbon bar. Let's see, it's I haven't even said it for so long. Bourbon. I now got the fucking Alzheimer's moment. Bourbon, beards, barbells, and bullshit. So today, episode number 7. We're gonna what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about. We were talking a little bit about the movie Mortal Kombat last time. Now we'll get into some bodybuilding stuff in just a couple minutes, but you had some strong views, so I watched that motherfucker again this week with a critical eye on this movie, and I still like the movie, man.
Why?
I mean, and I'm going to tell you, I saw a meme somebody put up that said it had that Kano character, you know, the guy who played Kano, the Australian guy, and it said something about the face I have when I have to carry the whole movie or some bullshit like that. I'm like, that motherfucker didn't carry the movie. What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't think he was that good. He was the guy that he was the guy I wanted dead from the beginning.
Yeah, he should have died at the at the onset of the movie. He should have.
I'm like, these are supposed to be elite warriors, right? And this guy's like some kind of Aussie from fucking Australia or something. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, he has some kind of. He didn't have any. He was just a tough guy. To me, there's a million tough guys out there.
He was invited. He had a mark. He had a mark. He just didn't have. He was just a punk. He was.
Yeah, but didn't he get the mark? Didn't he get the mark from killing somebody?
Say what?
Didn't he get the mark from killing somebody? No.
No, he got invited.
Okay.
He's like an underground boss, but he's one of those guys that talk a whole bunch of shit that can't really.
He's the motherfucker you invite to the party that you really don't want to come to the party.
but here, help me understand this though, man. Like, okay, the one guy. Like, you know, he's a made-up character. Like, he's a created character. The one that had the spandex top that appeared once he figured out his superpower was his Dude, that was a whole Under Armour.
Is that Liu Kang? Is that...
Who?
Liu Kang? No? Is that Liu Kang? I can't remember what it is.
Man, that wasn't Liu Kang. That was like a whole different character. Man, they could have just modernized it, man, and just could have brought it to 2021 and made all the characters.
Could have been new characters. They could imagine new characters.
Yeah, or could you imagine Scorpion with a whole fucking leather trench coat and he still had the same, and it was modernized? You don't have to, and the dude that was like the head guy, the wig, his head was real big, man. It wasn't very good to me, man. I think what you're complaining about, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you would have liked them to some more originality. They really just tried to modernize the one they did before. Yeah, and because I mean it's hard to develop characters from a video game because oftentimes you don't know too much about the character outside of you don't know about the video game. But
I thought they did.
It's easy to develop it.
I never would have thought that Johnny Cage would be like the main motherfucker. Like, he's the guy I never liked. Playing the video games, I thought that guy's a fucking pussy.
Who played with Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat the game? No one really played with Johnny Cage. I never played with Johnny Cage.
I played the main Asian dude. What's his name?
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang, yeah, the guy. And he wins, usually. Doesn't he win? Didn't he win in the first Mortal Kombat movie?
I believe so.
And then they made the final battle scene a lot more climactic.
Yeah.
This was a little, yeah.
It looked like something. Now, no knock on the Sci-Fi Channel. I love the Sci-Fi Channel. But it looked like some shit like Sharknado. It looked like it was just like didn't have a lot of money in the budget, man. It didn't.
They did a pretty. Go ahead.
I may be wrong, man. Maybe,
no.
I watched the anime again, dude. I watched the anime again. I watched that. I was like, you know what? They should just made an anime. They should have just made a cartoon of it. It would have probably been way better. I just
or made. I was hoping. I would have rather seen, if they're gonna do that, I would rather see them do a full CG rendering, like a full photorealistic, just like they did with Final Fantasy, all the Final Fantasy movies. Yeah. I like that kind of animation. I don't like the regular cartoon 2D stuff. I like the 3D stuff. But that's just me. But I think you're right. That would have made it kind of cool. I like the live action, and I didn't think it was poorly done, but they needed a segue, and I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to make...
Point in Warner Brothers, man, because you could have because think about it, if you're going to make a movie like Mortal Kombat, you're competing with the Marvel Universe, the DC Universe, to even jump in that genre of action movies. I wasn't down.
So what do you think about, what is it, Black Ant?
Fucking Dwayne Johnson's gonna play the
Black Adam.
Black Adam. That looks like it's badass, man.
I mean, only because think about it.
It's
man.
The Rock, though.
The Rock would have probably been a fool to like jump into the Marvel universe or jump into DC universe to kind of save them, man. Because to be honest with you, if he puts the same effort and energy he puts behind like all his movies and blockbuster, $1 billion, movies he didn't make or whatever, I think Black Adam man is gonna kick ass. But you know what? I don't like Shazam.
Why? The movie that just came out a couple years ago, 2 years ago. Man.
Yeah, so he was like a whole kid. Then
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I liked the Shazam character, but it's a little bit too much family for me.
Yeah,
like I want a little bit more edginess to it, but it was fine the way it was. I liked it. It was fine. I got the chance to watch it.
And the dude had a whole muscle costume on, man.
I know. Yeah. Well, how many guys who can act out there have muscles? It's a hard one, man, to get the right look and the right,
I know, man, but damn. I mean, Shazam, I remember Shazam, the TV show.
I do too, man. Shazam!
You remember you remember that?
I remember, like yesterday, man. I would wait to watch that shit.
That's what I'm pretty much basing Shazam on. And it's like, okay, come on, dude. You could. It's like if you're gonna compete with Marvel, you got to bring.
Well, it looks like Black Adam looks like it's going to compete.
I think The Rock's going to knock it out of the park on Black Adam, dude. Because have you seen like any of his videos or any of his?
I've seen a couple recently, but nothing.
Oh, dude, he's going hardcore, man. I think he should. The Rock is our age, man.
I know, man. Well, most of the stuff I think I saw recently was he was advertising some kind of guacamole shit for his fucking tequila thing for Cinco de Mayo.
Dude, look, man. If you think about it like this, man. Most celebrities nowadays parlay their celebrity with equity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you have a failing company or think about it, Under Armour. The Rock did an Under Armour. He got his own. That's the top selling shit on the market. I mean, now he has an energy drink in the game, man. I mean, and it's gonna blow the fuck up, man. So I think that. I think the Black Adam I think that might going to be a successful franchise, man, for him. I really do.
Did you see his, he has a series or something recently about him as a kid growing up?
Yeah, he got a show called The Young Rock, man.
Yeah. Was that good? Have you seen it?
I don't really watch TV like that. I keep everything. I keep it on ESPN the whole time, all day, every day. But he's hot, man. He's like a hot actor, dude. Like he can put his name on anything, dude. He can sell a pile of shit.
Somebody was saying that he was tossing around. I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody was saying, I think he posted something like about him possibly entertaining the idea of running for president in the next election. And they're saying, would you vote for him? And I would. It's got to be better.
What would we be voting on, though? Would I be voting on his because he is a wealthy man. Money changes your ideology.
I have a little bit more faith in his where he comes from, where he's grounded, and he's grounded in island life. Maybe it's because I'm partial to Hawaiians, and he grew up in Hawaii to a certain degree, and he has a very aloha sensibility about him. He understands the spirit of aloha, and so which is basically making everybody family. It's essentially what it is. But he, I really don't think that I really do believe that he has a different sensibility about his success and about I don't think he feels the fear of, I think what happens with a lot of people is they feel the fear of losing what they have. So they double down and try to protect it, right? Like companies do this all the time by trying to put other companies under or trying to create monopolies so that way they can succeed. They can make sure they succeed. But the truth is that there's never been a need for a monopoly for any business to succeed. It's just if you have a great product, if you have a great service, and people know about it, then you will sell shit.
Look at Chick-fil-A, dude. Chick-fil-A doesn't even open on Sundays. You know what I mean? They close on Sundays, man. I mean, you run
they do?
business model on the sick. Yeah.
Are they religious? Because I know like In-N-Out Burger, the family that started them, which they're still family owned, they're very Christian based. And so if you look at on the In-N-Out where you have to get the fries or the drinks, if you look at the bottom there, you'll see a passage. They print
really?
they print a passage.
Yeah,
They print a passage.
Every time I've been to In-N-Out Burger, I'm there to smash food. So but I mean, the thing about being Chick-fil-A, their business model, they don't open up on Sundays, dude. I mean, how player of a business model was that, man? To close on Sunday, you operate your business 6 days a week. Most businesses can't do that, man. You thrive running 7 days.
Are they big? So, I've never had Chick-fil-A.
I mean, my daughter eats a lot of chicken. She likes Chick-fil-A. I really don't mess with them like that myself. But
I'll tell you what I really want to try is Popeye's chicken.
I don't eat Popeyes.
Man, I usually always eat Kentucky Fried Chicken if I have fried chicken. I fucking love fried chicken, man. Oh my God, I fucking love fried chicken. But I've never tried. Somebody said, "Oh, Popeyes is good. Popeyes is better." I've never tried it because I've never lived near one. That's the truth. I've never fucking lived near one. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign.
Yeah, that's a good thing because gas will probably be there every single day. They're like, damn, Tad again. Another 4 pieces. Okay, sorry.
And I just like fried chicken. I like fried chicken. Like my idea of a good meal, like a good cheat meal, is some fried chicken, some biscuits and gravy, and some fucking mashed potatoes, man. Just throw in a bunch of that shit, and then lay it on my couch and fucking letting the shit all digest.
That's funny, man. That's funny, dude.
And the root beer.
I don't really. You know what? I used to eat Popeyes. I had a bad experience, man. I guess they made with some old grease. They cooked the chicken in and made upset my stomach. Anything that makes me sick, I don't mess with it anymore.
You're like, you get one strike and you're out.
Remember on the last episode we were talking about like shit, man. I mean, like really, is it really?
Now that's a fucking superpower. You walk. We call it shit, man. He just makes everybody shit their pants and shit their drawers as soon as you get within 10 feet of him.
Hey, dude, if it messed my stomach up, you remember when we first started working together, man? I think it was 2011, dude. I made some chicken, and I guess I must have didn't wash my hands or just touched it wrong or something. I cooked it, I ate it, man. It made me so sick. And then it scared me half to death by eating chicken. I was eating ground sirloin, that whole fucking prep, dude.
Oh,
I was eating ground sirloin because I was scared of chicken. Like I'm not messing with chicken.
You remember Rocky, my buddy Rocky? I coached him I coached Rocky for 20 years, and I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if I told you, but he died on New Year's Eve. It's very sad. I loved Rocky to death, but he got many years ago we were first starting to prep for shows for him. It was probably about 18 years ago. I remember he gets sick on some chicken. He heats it up and he eats it and he was dog sick for like 2 days, like a day and a half. And then after that, I remember he would come in. I would talk to him. This is when he had a nutrition shop and he gave me an office in his back. And during that time, he would come in and I would test him and we would go over his meal plans and stuff. And he would eat. I would see him eat his food and he would heat that fucking food up so goddamn hot. I'm like, Rocky, why do you eat your food so hot, man? He's like, got sick on that chicken, man. Fuck that. I'm never going to get sick again, man. He's like, I'm never going to get sick again. He's like, I'm going to cook the shit out of everything.
Right, dude. Like, no, you make me sick, man. I cannot. That one time that it had my stomach messed up, it had my daughter's stomach messed up. And I was like, I can't mess with Popeyes anymore, man.
Okay, well, I'm not.
Even over the frenzy with the chicken sandwich, I even think about it, man, dude. They didn't even have to advertise, man. They promoted a chicken sandwich that everybody goes to get. They didn't have to advertise that, dude. It's kind of like you said, if you have a good product and you put it out there and you market it well, man, people will eat it up, man. You don't have to. You know what? It goes back to what we were talking about last week. The reason why, I would have to learn like The Rock's, how he really feels, because years ago when I found out he was a Republican, not saying, I was confused. And so I started doing a little bit more research, and I noticed that, once people become wealthy, or I'm not talking about like just rich. I mean like wealthy, where they got generational wealth, right? They change their ideologies and beliefs sometimes, and it kind of goes inside with wealthy people. So
when you think about it, let's say you're The Rock, or let's just say you're you, and you all of a sudden you're making 20, 30 million a year. Okay. Now, so your whole finances change, right? Like everything changes. Like you're not. And my guess is your accountant or your tax person is going to tell you that certain things are going to be better for you. Certain legislation, so I could totally understand why people say, look, man, if you're a Democrat and you support these ideas, it could cost you 10% of your income. It's like, and if I was The Rock, I'd be like, fuck that shit.
Right. I get it. But it's kind of like, you think about it from in its totality, as far as like the Democratic and Republican Party, it really, you're really voting on the person.
Yes.
I mean, you're really voting on the person. So, when 2016 rolled around and everybody started voting for Trump, it's like we had 8 years of President Obama. So it's kind of like, I think that what happened was that, that just really showed you how, what America was really made of, as far as the people. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you think about it, you say to yourself, like, wow, that many people were just that opposed to having an African-American, president, that they just could not wait for him to get out of office so they can vote somebody in that's going to,
Do you think that was the reason why?
Yeah, because think about it, man. It's kind of like, to me, it's like, if you ever been in a house that has an attic, right?
Yeah.
And that's where everybody stores all the old shit, right?
Right.
So imagine what you see in there. You see pictures of your grandparents, things like that. Your mom walking around with no shoes and a baby picture and shit like that. But oftentimes, what do you find on all those old things? You find a lot of dust. Things that are meaningful but meaningless in the sense of the grand scheme of things of your current existence. So if you live the way you live right now, that stuff is old and sitting in the attic. But if somebody opens that door and blows off and kicks up all the dust, it brings up a whole bunch of shit. Maybe bring us some old family, things that people didn't want to know or people tried to hide. And I think what America tries to do, they try to mask and distract and detach from what they really, really, really are as Americans. You know what I mean? Think about January 6th, man. All the shit that popped up January 6th. I mean, what were you actually riding?
Right.
Because once again, it's like, you think about conservatives and progressives. Somebody who's conservative is trying to conserve or preserve their way of thinking, how things and shit really used to be, but it wasn't good for everybody.
It never is. Well,
right. So
that's the way our culture works.
Think about somebody like The Rock. The Rock is a whole. He is not a white guy. He's not mixed with white or black. He is mixed with two melanated people.
Right.
But he comes off so ambiguous. He comes off as like he's colorless. You know what I mean? You look at his movies, he'll like have a whole white wife with a mixed child, or a white son, or a stepson. You know what I mean? He's never, you'll never see with an African American woman. He's never, and his cast is never African American or anything like that. It's kind of like he stays in the middle. He stays neutral. So I don't know what his politics would be. I don't know if he would be.
That's a good point. I don't know.
You think about it.
I've never looked at it that closely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, so you got to realize, like we talk about people and look at people, well, we really don't know what they stand on. You know what I mean? I really don't know, what he stands on and what his beliefs and what his ideologies for the country is, especially when you looked at it for, from a perspective of being wealthy for a long time. Especially when you know what I'm saying? You think about, like, we talked about it last week when we talked about people that are wealthy. What superpower would I want to have? I would want to have a power to feed the hungry and cure people's ills in this world. You know what I mean? So no one has a restless or a hungry night. You know what I mean? But so you got a lot of people that wield a lot of power and a lot of popularity that can really change a lot of lives in this world. But once again, just because they said they're gonna run for president, I don't know what that means for the country.
No, I don't either. I really think that this brings up a good point politically, and I don't mean to turn this into a complete political discussion, but I think that it's so important for us to focus on issues instead of the person. I just don't believe in character debates. I understand there's an importance there that we want to understand who, like you said, we want to understand who we're dealing with, but I don't think that's the way we should elect any official. And it's because you can have somebody with the greatest, who appears to have the greatest morals, the kind of person that we would like. Doesn't mean they have good ideas.
No.
Doesn't mean they have good ideas at all. Doesn't mean they have any good ideas at all. They could have a really bunch of bad ideas, actually, right? Like they could have a really, like, I think I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I don't remember what the margin was that Hitler won when he became chancellor. I can't remember what the margin was, but when he became it, then he assumed power, and I think that from a ideological perspective or from a morality perspective, believe it or not, I think that most Germans at that time would have probably identified with him. But he had some really fucking bad ideas. Some really fucking bad ideas, like killing people. Like, that's not a good idea ever. But like I said, like, so you could have somebody like that who's highly intelligent, because he was, I don't know if you know this, but we know that Hitler had a registered IQ of like 201. Like, this motherfucker was a genius. I have a high IQ, and mine's not even close to that. and IQ is just our ability to solve problems. So he's a good problem solver. But a couple years before he was even became the chancellor, he was in prison, and that's where he wrote. That's where he wrote Mein Kampf. That's where he wrote his famous treatise, Mein Kampf, which all the racists seem to want to pull. It's a poorly written document. As a writer, I'm going to tell you, it's a poorly written document, but it said things in there that expressed anger and concerns that the common person had at that time. So he became this sort of white knight for some of those issues, because he was saying things like, "It's the Jews' fault." Really, you're the victim now.
Oh wow!
That's essentially what. And so that's why. And at that time, it's all time and place. That's why I'm always looking at what's going on right now, and I hear the speech from Joe Biden, and it really sounds like, what's this "we the people" shit? When he's talking about we the people, and he's talking about that we the people means the government, the people who work in government. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. That's just a small, tiny part of the people. We the people is everybody. As a matter of fact, somebody created a quick little video of it, and they showed Biden giving this speech, and he's saying "we the people," which means we the people in the government, and then they flash to Reagan, who I'm not a big fucking fan of personally, but he did some pretty decent things. And one of the things that he did really well was he was a great orator, and he says things like, "We the people. We the people are firefighters and citizens and doctors and nurses and everybody out there, janitors and people who pick up trash off the streets. That's we the people." And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we meant in that document. It wasn't just a certain slide. Although I will admit that when the Declaration of Independence was written, and also our Constitution, it never was intended. Most people don't know this, but I don't believe that our forefathers ever intended it to be a document of equality. Yeah. It was not meant to be that way. It was not meant to. Yeah. We now perceive it that way.
It wasn't inclusive at all.
No. They weren't including black people. They weren't including Chinese people. They weren't including Asian people. They weren't including anybody but white people. That's who we the people stood for back then. Yeah, and it didn't include women.
No, not at all.
Women were still second-class citizens. Shit. Right. Women didn't even legally couldn't even vote until less than 100 years ago. In the 20th century, they got the right to vote. Yeah. 1920 something, I think it was 1930. So that's not that fucking long ago.
I mean, think about
that means that my grandmother was born with not the right to vote. My grandmother.
And, you look at women. That's why when you look at, and like you said, not to get too political, we look at the Civil Rights Act. I mean, it includes a lot of people, not just black people. Yes. It includes a lot of people. It was inclusive. The whole premise behind it wasn't to include a whole bunch of people. It was just about black people. But once again, it became very inclusive when it came to women. Yeah. Like think about what you can fall back on now if you're like transgender or gay or something like that. Your civil rights. You have your civil rights. So I mean, you got to realize, man. Like I said, it's one of those things where someone that runs for politics, noble intent. But once you get into the machine, I think you gotta push the buttons that they tell you to push and pull the levers that they want you to pull. And every now and then you might have a platform to say some shit you want to say, but at the end of the day,
this is the reason why I say I've often said to people, like, yeah, I want to run for public office, specifically governor of Hawaii. Or senator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or senator. Because, my cousin was Daniel Inouye, the Senator Daniel Inouye. He was a U.S. senator for over 40-something years. The closest he was ever the closest it came to unseating him in his entire career from the senatorial his senatorial seat in Hawaii was 25% of the vote. He was very popular.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was extremely all the local people on the island. And every time I go to Hawaii and I use my credit card and they see my name, then they go, "Oh, are you related to the senator?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's my cousin." And I always hear a great story about how he helped himself. And so that was always one of my dreams. But I know that if I did this, that I'd probably be assassinated. Because I'm not the kind of guy I'm not that guy that's gonna like, I'll do a favor for you, you do a favor for me. No, I'll do what I think is right. You do what you think is right. But if you're doing what you think is right for you and nobody else, then fuck you. That's not who you shouldn't be in office. I want to do what's right for everybody, and I want you to do what's right for everybody. And there's all these deals that are made in DC and all these things in Congress, and that's generally successful presidents and successful people in office. If they have deep relationships with other cabinet members, other people out there then they could get this legislation passed through. But if they don't, good example is Jimmy Carter. He was great man, great morals, couldn't get anything done because he was unwilling to compromise on so many things. And I would agree. I agreed with him. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't either. So I know that I would probably I might have an ineffective career as a politician because I just don't like to compromise on certain things. I'm happy to compromise on some things, but everyone's got to benefit, right?
Right. But think about it like this though, man. The way they always want to say be bipartisan when it comes to but it's always confusing because it seems so detached.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it, man. You live in the same damn country.
Right.
I mean, so once again, there's a lot of detachment when it comes to politicians because most of them are, successful, wealthy, or powerful. So, I mean, all those aren't mutually exclusive either. I mean, you can be successful, but not necessarily be wealthy or powerful. You can be powerful, not necessarily wealthy. You can just be a power broker. They can accumulate your wealth, which most politicians do anyway. They become power brokers and they try to utilize it to position themselves like a fucking chess piece. So it's kind of like, what can you actually stand on? I remember talking to a congressman, man, about 20 years ago, and he was like a freshman, congressman or whatever. And he's like, nah, dude, when I walked into my office, I had like a stack of shit on my desk already.
Like, what do you mean, stack of what?
Just, can you sign this bill? Can you sign this? Can you partner with us on this? Like you don't come in a clean office. Like, you don't come in like it's a brand new job. You start off in the mailroom and you work your way up.
Right.
No. You're like a whole. You gotta realize, man, politicians are like whole chess pieces. They move and people move them as much as possible. So it's kind of weird that when someone, think about somebody like who, who I would have liked to see get a shot. Man, was that guy from Texas? He had a weird name. I can't think of his name now, but he seemed like a very nice guy.
How long ago was this?
It was just the last primaries or whatever.
I was going to say the only presidential candidate that I know that came out of Texas, aside from the Bushes, was Ross Perot. How are you people?
He's a younger guy, man. Maybe mid late 40s.
Oh, okay.
But he seemed like so it's like a lot of people come in with all this, this sense of nobility about what they're going to do. And I just think it's hard to do when the machine is so old and antiquated, and you got people, gatekeepers, standing and guarding and oiling it when it needs to oil, and greasing it when it needs to grease, and changing and ball bearings and shit in the machine, and all you do is become an operator.
We're trying to do. It's like we're trying to paint a Picasso with a fucking broom.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, I think it's. I mean, you could. I mean, shit, if Picasso had a broom, you probably could.
Yeah, but we're all not Picasso, so.
I mean, you like to see some good. You like to see some good folks, man. Actually make some change in the world. But once again, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. I think that how the Marvel comics, how the Avengers, ultimately they had Infinity War, then they had the Endgame. I think our world. Hell, I think we do have an end game.
We do.
And I just think that no matter what we do, what we try to change, what we try to implement, I just think there's going to be a demise in the sense that You know, think about like if you look at our oceans, man. Like, dude, that's like it's more fucking water on Earth than it is land.
I know.
But we fucking the water up. We messing the water up like it ain't like the shit like we can like.
Oh, there's islands of plastic out there, just complete
man.
masses of plastic and garbage that's been, and it makes me sick because I don't think we should be trash. I don't think we should be. Imagine what we would think about the people that would if somebody was out there in the universe throwing garbage onto our planet, just throwing their bullshit out there and we'd be like, hey man, what the fuck? But fish and whales and shit, they don't got no voice. They can't say, hey man, why are you dirtying up my living room?
They can't step to the microphone and be like, on behalf of all the sea life
exactly. Keep the trash in your own shit.
I'm Congressman Whale from the 5th District, and I want to talk on behalf. But I mean, think about it though, man. The fucking ocean is like a whole universe by itself.
Yeah.
It's intergalactic.
We still haven't mapped it all.
No, it's still. They said, man, it's like, man. I think I was watching something on Discovery Channel. I like Discovery Channel. I do like the Food Channel, man. The Food Networks. I love cooking shows. Don't judge me. But now, so I was watching something, and they were like, man, it was like the percentage of the ocean that we've already like discovered is like small.
Yeah.
I mean, and what we haven't discovered is like big. So I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, what's out in the stuff that we haven't discovered yet?
Dude, man, I've seen some stuff, man, on some TV shows, some deep sea stuff. That there could be some real fucking weird sea creatures out there.
Like Godzilla. Godzilla could be chilling right now. Godzilla underwater, just hibernating and shit. He could just pop up one day, and then what we gonna do with that? So
I would rather see King Kong. I like King Kong. I want to see that motherfucker. That's a badass gorilla, man.
We don't see none of them motherfuckers, man, because I don't want to see some. Look, think about, man. Because I've never been on a cruise. So I don't like big bodies of water, right? I can't stand big bodies of water, man. What the fuck you gonna do, man? If somebody drops your ass in the ocean, we're gonna do fucking swim. You're gonna drown and die. Okay, so that's inevitable to the point to where it's like, damn. But check this out though. Like if you did fall overboard and fell in the ocean, man,
right?
Like you're on a cruise, on a vacation and shit, and a whale swam past you, what would you do?
You can't do nothing.
What would you do if you saw a fucking whale just swim past you?
So I have been in the ocean and seen this, but I was out there to see the whales. I went whale watching, and when one of these creatures swims by your boat, and I'm on a ship, a pretty big boat, it's not a small boat. This motherfucker dwarfs the shit. If all it would take is a one flip of the tail, just bam, and we're capsized, easy.
And you would die, and you would die and get ate up, and then I'd be like, that's fucked up. That's so
too bad for you, bro.
That's why I don't fuck with big bodies of water. I mean, that's why I told his ass.
But I will say this: that I've looked at a whale in the eye, only one of his eyes, because I could see the other side. So he was cruising by. I was in high school. Went to this whale watching thing. It was really fucking cool. My brother's in the fucking back, both turning different shades of fucking purple and blue and shit. He's throwing up. And I'm like, I asked the captain, hey man, where's the worst part to sit in this boat? For most of it. He says at the front. I said, I took a beeline, went to the front, I stood out there, and I was having a blast, okay? I was having a blast. And then I see this big whale come up. And he comes up and he surfaces about 2 or 3 feet out of the water. So just the top of his head, and you see his big eye, and he's just looking at me for like 2 minutes. Blink.
How big was the eye though, man?
The eye was about this big, man. This big.
That looks small.
Size of my fist.
I imagine the whale's eye was probably bigger than that, man.
No. It's the size it's like that size, a little smaller than my fist. That's the size of his eye.
I'm not trying to get that close, man. I don't know why people think that shit's fun, man.
But my point with this is that, well, it was fun, but my point was that, man, you really sense, like, I really felt, now this just could be me, I felt like, man, this is a harmless, loving creature. Like, he I am sure he knew, well, I could tip these motherfuckers over in one flip of my tail, man. Fuck this. Like, if he wanted to, but he just cruised by, took a look for a couple minutes, and then went back under and sailed off. We were like nothing to him.
Dude, look, man, when I was in LA, man, and we were out, it was like maybe 5 years ago. We were on the beach. We were in Marina Del Rey, right? And so my daughter, she jumped in the water. She ready. I said, hey. Don't go too far out, because once you go too far out, hey, bro, I'm not jumping in. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just because, like I said, it's like, look, it's not a fear, it's a respect.
Right.
Anything, and like if you ever seen a lot, look, man, dude, me and my guy one day, man, we were like, man, we were watching something on Discovery Channel. We were talking about alligators or crocodiles, right? How big they are. And I'm thinking, okay, I said, dude, I got a tape measure. Stand over there, man. And he said, what, 18 feet? Okay, we're going to measure off 18 feet. I said, could you imagine walking somewhere, man, and just run across something that's 8 feet and weighs about like 900 pounds? Just sitting in the middle of the yard? What you going to do? I mean, you got to respect them, man. I respect anything greater than me. I respect it because the fact that, like, big bodies of water, I respect it enough to stay out of it because the fact that it's only doing what it naturally does. Like a lion is going a lion, if you're in the fucking safari or something like that, and you're just seeing lions and tigers and bears and shit, man. Okay, if they eat you up, they just doing what the fuck they do. Like you know what people get eaten up, people get eaten up in zoos and shit, man. I feel sorry for those people. I really do.
I've seen, but usually it's because they're doing dumb stuff.
But even if they're not even doing dumb shit, right?
Like feeding animals or trying to pet them. Don't do that. You know what
a lion is, man? I mean, I don't think people realize.
Dude, a lion is the top of the food chain in Africa, man. That motherfucker is the king of the. They don't call him the king of the jungle for nothing.
Shit, man. I mean, you gotta respect him. So if he eats you and shit, okay, I'm not mourning you.
You asked for that. Well, that's like that one. There's like that one guy. Remember?
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry like shit. You should have stayed his ass down.
So do you remember? Do you remember? I think it was 10 years ago. What's that one Australian guy who used to go out there and like wrestle the crocodile hunter? Remember? Yeah. He got hit. He got hit with the stingray thing in his chest, and it killed. It was a fluke accident because those stingrays they never usually attack, but it got scared and it whipped its tail and it left it and it hit him in the chest, I guess, and it killed him. What? I thought the stuff that he did was a little. I would like. He must have felt really comfortable in nature and stuff because I would never. I'm like you, man. Like no. I remember when I went to Thailand, I took a picture with a monkey. He's fucking cool, man. He's my favorite. It's my favorite picture, man. Me and this little monkey. He's a little chimp. He's fucking cool. He didn't want to leave, man. He wanted to come home with me. I was like, I want to take this little guy home. He was cool. And his hands, dude. Have you ever felt a monkey's hands?
No.
They're fucking like ours, man. They're soft. Super fucking soft. And so are elephants' feet, by the way. They're like the palm of your hand. It's fucking amazing. But anyways, so we get done with these pictures, and then they have a tiger there. So he's got a chain on. He's chained up. And he's like chilling out. He's just laying there, looking like he was bored, like and half drugged up. And they're like, "You want a picture with the tiger?" And I'm like, "Fuck no!" I'm like, "That motherfucker eats motherfuckers." Like, no, I'm not. I don't care how much drugs he's got. I don't want that picture. This guy is 98% of my DNA. I'm okay with him. I'm not okay with this other guy. And besides, I didn't like the fact that he didn't look like he wanted to fucking be here. Like, he don't look like he wants to be here. This monkey looked like he wanted to be here, but that cat does not. He looks like he wants to be out prowling around hunting for some shit. And I said, I don't like zoos in general.
We talked about this, man.
Yeah.
I don't like zoos because of the fact that I just think that, I don't know, I just think it's cruel, man. I mean, it's cool when you take your kids to the zoo and they can see things that they've seen in books and stuff like that. And that's pretty cool about it, man. But once they get a little bit older, I mean, dude, I remember, growing up in Indianapolis, man, we had a zoo that was on the east side of Indianapolis. Like, so it was in close proximity to like the hoods, right?
Right.
So you could actually go to the zoo. I mean, we went, you go there and you see groups of kids, a whole bunch of black kids, going to see zoo exhibits and stuff like that. And then you start, digging and looking at your history and stuff like that. And you see that, you go to SeaWorld, man, and they say, oh my God, one of the people in the pool got killed by a killer whale. Well, first of all, the first name is Killer. So I'm confused as to why
this is a big surprise.
I would never misunderstand that. Like, if you walk up to me and I put my hand and shake your hand, you say, your first name was Killer. I'm good, bro. I don't really need to know you. So I understand wanting to grow up, man, and wanting to deal with animals, man, but deal with them on their own terms. Anybody who does like go to hunting safaris and shit like that, those are the biggest bitches in the world.
Well, I don't.
Because you killing a whole tiger, run up on him with no weapon.
Yeah.
You want to kill a lion? Go kill him then. But if you shooting for 50 yards away or 100 yards away, and you fucking kill a lion. Like, that's not really fair. That's not a punk.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't like hunting, that kind of sport hunting at all. Regular hunting in certain applications I think is fine. We need to population control and all that stuff. But I make this same assertion. I've talked to all my friends. I have many friends who love to hunt, and I've been the wonderful beneficiary of meat and of products that have been, and I am thankful for that. But I will say this, that I personally don't hunt. I personally don't like it. I personally don't like to kill animals just for the sport of it. And even if I was to eat the meat, I have a grocery store. I have 3 grocery stores within 2 minutes of my house. I could easily go. But I will say this, that, and this is always my argument to everyone that I've ever known who's hunted. I said, they said they would always give me the reasons. What they had was, they say things like, I like to hunt because I actually use all the meat. And I do it very, very humanely, and I use all the meat, and I always come back with, that's not the reason why you hunt. That's just you may get enjoyment out of the meat. That may be useful for you, but you hunt because you enjoy killing something.
Right.
That's the only reason why somebody wants to point a gun at another living creature and shoot it.
You want to kill something.
Because you want to kill something. Now, I understand there is protection. We have to have self-protection. That's a different story, but. Like home protection, you say, I got to get a gun for home protection. Okay, fine. But the people that, I'm talking about the hunters, the people that actually go out and actually hunt for, look, I don't have a problem with people hunting, but don't kid your fucking self. You like to kill shit. And that's the bottom line. And for me, there's something wrong with that attitude that if I woke up every day and I thought the coolest thing I could do today was shoot a fucking animal, I think there's something wrong with me. Now,
I have to concur, dude. I have to concur because, like, it was when I worked in a plant, man.
Unless I'm hungry.
When I worked before, man, dude. So guy walks up to me, man. He's like, man, comes up to me, said, man, how was your weekend, man? It was cool, man. How was yours, man? Shit, took my little person, man. Took him hunting, man, for the first time, and he's like, check this out. I said, man, is this hand up the deer's ass? How old is he? He was like, he's 8. I was like, oh, okay. And I said, yeah, that's when you go in and you pull out the innards. He's 8, man. I mean, that's like giving a pit bull some blood. Once they get a taste of blood, you're showing them how to kill. I mean, I'm saying you just create a whole serial killer.
I've had friends of mine tell me that they had experiences like this with their fathers. And they said it was really, like, it was an endearing experience. Like, they had this connection.
I can understand that.
I can understand. But do you got to do it around killing? Does it have to be around killing?
Hey, man, but, like you had mentioned, you alluded to something like that last week. You said that, back in the day, as far as, like, how our civilization has evolved from those mannerisms and those characteristics based on need and necessity.
That's right.
Right? So, and it's interesting. What I find interesting about that is because if you think about it, dude, hunting is always marketed toward, white people, right?
Yeah.
They always show, but it's other people, Mexican people, black people, Asian people. It's a whole bunch of people that hunt. If hunting goes on around the world, like it's normal. You go to like African places like that, people still go out and hunt and shoot.
That's right. That's how they live.
But America's like one of the biggest marketing, advertisement, experiments ever created. And I think that, we create a narrative behind certain demographics to do certain things. You know what I mean? Like you always see white guys with camouflage shit on. You don't see too many brothers with camouflage shit on, man. I'm sorry, you may see some army camouflage, but not like hunting camouflage. Like they wear this shit out like it's like dress clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a whole dude, man.
I'm all dressed up.
Hey, no, check this shit, dude. I went to a fucking dinner one time, dude. This dude had like a whole camouflage top. I'm like, damn, that's deep, man. But it don't even match.
You should have walked by and went. Did you walk by and say, shit? I almost didn't see though, bro.
Yeah, I like, man, because the shit didn't match. He had like blue pants on and camouflage green.
Maybe it was laundry day.
I don't know, man. But and it's funny because once again, if you rear a generation in to hunt and to kill, you're preparing them for what? Especially when it's not a necessity or it's not necessary anyway. It's not for survival or anything like that. And
well, you're programming.
You ever see that movie? You ever see the movie Hostel?
Yeah, I did.
Remember how they got like kidnap people, man? So rich people.
That's fucking freaky. That movie freaked me out a little bit. I'll tell you. I'll be honest.
So
because it's real shit.
People want to do that stuff just to kill.
Yeah.
They
get enjoyment out of.
I'm sorry. We live in that culture, man. Look at the gun culture we have in this country. I mean, as far as like, they trying to take our guns. I don't think nobody's trying to take your guns, man. They just telling you can't have a whole military assault rifle under your bed. I understand. You know what I mean? God damn, what you like, a Marine?
Like, were you Rambo?
Right. And it's kind of like we breed these cultures and these narratives around certain things of destruction and chaos. And I would just tell.
And we pretend like, we speak about it as if we elevate it. We elevate it into this other like holy, almost this holy sort of sanctum, and kids grow up and they really start. This is what they idolize, and then it comes. And people used to think I don't think video games are all that bad. Like I really don't.
No.
I think what is the messages that we receive from the people that are most important to us, right? And I believe in explicit messages. As a father, as a parent, I give my daughter explicit messages. I don't infer shit because shit could come up with some wacky idea about something, thinking that it's my idea because I didn't say it explicitly. I just believe in it and being very, 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 very explicit. So when she knows that I love her because I tell her specifically, she knows that Dad thinks that this is not a great thing to do specifically, and she knows the reasons why. So I think that's super important. I don't think that I think
the thing is, like you said, if you teach someone, like say if you did teach your kid how to hunt,
right?
And you go out and you go deer hunting every season or whatever, or you go rabbit hunting or some shit like that. But what ideologies and beliefs are you backing that up with?
Are you celebrating the death of this creature, or are you celebrating something else? And I think that a great example of this is in the movie, and I always bring things back to movies. Avatar, fucking wonderful. The way that and the concern, it's a very ecologically sound movie from the standpoint of you look at when he learns how to hunt like the Na'vi people. He learns how but what happens when they kill the animals? They do something right away. They sit down and they give it a prayer. They tell it thank you for
kill something. Something like
yes. Right. It's just giving it good intentions. It's giving your good. It's like and I think that we need to. That's the thing that we. I don't care about hunting. I care. It's that piece that we exalt the killing part, when we should be exalting the gratitude part. Thank you for like the Native Americans. Yeah, like putting food in my belly. The Native Americans, when they kill, I remember reading about this, about how when they would kill an animal, they would give thanks to it for contributing to this circle of life and for all these things, and that was a big part of the process of this hunting process. It was more than just killing the animal. It was more than the value that the animal gives. It's like you give it thanks, man. It contributed to our success. Yes. And so I think that's the part. That's a little bit that's missing.
And I agree with that because you think about it like this, man. If you look at any other culture, any other culture that hunts and kills other animals for necessity,
right?
Because we need to eat. I mean, shit, we got so many fucking processed food and fake ass food and shit we eat out here. We don't need to kill shit. We can make the shit up. They can create chickens in a fucking lab, I suppose.
Shit, most of the carbs I get are manufactured.
So you think about it, man. If you like, I didn't fish. I didn't grow up fishing.
Me either.
You know what I mean? But I know some people that do fish. I mean, they're my age now. They post it on Facebook and they show they're fishing. I didn't grow up like that. So it's kind of like things like that can be endearing when it comes to like sharing it with like a grandfather or a father, or you share it with your kids or shit like that. But when you go out and like, you got a whole gun in your hand, man, and you just shoot something from a distance, man. There's blood involved. You got to open it, man. Look, dude, I used to work with this guy, man. This is a true fucking story, dude. Dude would drive an hour to our plant. So we in plants in Indianapolis, he would drive an hour to and from to work. He worked at the plant. No big deal. We used to have pitch ins. And
what's that?
like pitch ins. Like we would have like pitch ins at work. Like everybody bring a dish or whatever.
Oh, like a potluck.
Like, yeah. So he would always bring barbecue meat, and he would always have like it'd be minced up, and he made his own barbecue sauce with molasses.
Was it good?
I was fired. It was absolutely delicious. He would have Ritz crackers. So we have a plastic container, a box of Ritz crackers, and everybody would pile it on the plate and just eat it and be like, "This is delicious." Until one fucking day somebody asked him,
"What is it?
What is it?" Oh man, I found that on the road.
What? Found it on the road,
dude. Because and he didn't tell. It wasn't like he told like the group. He told like one person. You know that shit spreads like wildfire. You tell one person.
They're like, "That's roadkill, man. It's fucking roadkill."
He been eating fucking roadkill. I said, did you ask him what meat it was that we were eating? This the roadkill. He's like, man, he found like a couple possums on the way home.
What the fuck? Oh man, I wouldn't eat his shit, man. I'm sorry.
Hey man, dude. After that, man, I felt bad though. One day I put a pile on my plate just because I didn't want to, because I felt bad for him. Because nobody was gonna mess with his food because he grew up in the country. He grew up, rural. He grew up in a rural area to where, hunting and things like that was necessity because, you might be like 10, 15 miles away from like, grocery stores and shit like that. So you killed your own meat.
I was reading a statistic that said that I think it was like 15%, 10, 12% of the population in the United States, continental United States, still rely on hunting for most of their meat in the year. It's like 10%.
I can see that though.
It's a small percentage, but it's still it's significant to me. Like
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I guess it would be people like in the backwoods of like Arkansas or Mississippi or wherever they're at. There's not a lot of stuff going on.
You go out, look, you know what? Hey man, not to drop names, but I don't eat Jimmy John's. You know why I don't eat Jimmy John's?
Why? Because he got two first names for a name.
Because the owner of the company, he went over and killed some like old ancient, on some preserve in Africa, something like he killed some like old, like lion or something that was revered.
That sucks.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you show, he's fucking dude got a mullet and shit, man, and he's like just sitting there, just like, this. What are you really doing, man? When you go over to dude, first of all, you're not from there. You from America, and you over in a whole other continent. And you over there killing shit that didn't say shit to you, didn't talk shit to you, didn't talk about your mama, didn't do anything like that. And you go over and kill it just for what? Just so you can mount it on your wall?
I think so. I might piss off some people for saying this, but I think that people that kill things and mount them, that these are their trophies. That I think that it makes sense to me that the only reason why somebody would ever want to do that is because they really don't know who they are. They're like somehow that look at me, look at who I am, look at what I can do, sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I've still tried to wrestle around with it because, man, I like those busts that I see on the walls, like for like bears and tigers, but I don't want it to be real. I don't want it to be a real one. I want it to be a fake one, man. Can you, I'd buy a fake one.
But you know what? You know what's so crazy, dude? I went to a party once, man, and it was like the wealthier part of our city, and I walked into right in the front door was a big ass bear.
What do you mean?
Like a stuffed bear.
Oh, really? Oh, wow! It was real.
Dude, it was huge. It was. You noticed that when you walk in the door, like, oh, okay.
Hello.
Oh, wow. He's like, yeah, my grandfather killed that. I said, did the bear do something to your grandfather? I
would have said, did you stuff your grandfather too? Where's he at?
He been passed, but I guess it's a family heirloom and it's been passed
right.
through.
But wouldn't that be a great thing? Walk in, you see the bear here, and the stuffed guy who killed him here.
Right? Like he sounded like this. But I was curious. I was like, damn. I said, yeah, he killed that. They said maybe like 78, 78, 79. He was out hunting and the bear, I said, but damn, what did the bear do?
Yeah.
Because first of all,
the bear was guilty of doing only one thing, being awesome.
Right. Pretty much, yeah, I just want to go shoot you.
So I want to shoot some big ass creature.
But the one thing, it was kind of cool because it was like so massive. I was like, damn, I've never seen a bear up close.
Oh,
So I was like, damn, what's that? About 8 feet tall. I mean, it was huge.
that's a big bear.
It was a huge. It was a black bear. It was a huge bear. I was like, damn, that's huge. But I said, but damn, I'm thinking to myself, like, I have.
It was a black bear.
I realized, what's that?
It was a black bear.
Black, was brown. I don't know shit about bears.
Was it a grizzly or was it a black bear? Because it was a black bear. Black bears are really friendly, man. They're not really that harmful. I don't think.
It was huge.
So it's probably a grizzly. It was probably a grizzly. It's probably a brown. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's so crazy about it is that it was cool to see because I never seen a bear up close on his back, on his hind feet, standing up. I'm like, that's a massive ass animal. And then secondly, it was like it was one of those things. But that's my kind of realization, man, about how I felt about hunting. About killing things that I respect. I will respect a bear because first of all, you're bigger than me. It's like okay, let's equate this to bodybuilding. When being a super heavyweight, we're backstage. Most of the bodybuilders look at us.
Right.
You're like, hey, god damn, man, you big as hell, shit. And then everybody waits for us to come on stage, right? But the thing is, like, so I respect that. So if it's a bigger bodybuilder than me, I respect the bodybuilder. It's like, god damn, you're a huge dude. I'm always gonna give respect up to something that's greater than me, something that's bigger than me. And I'm never gonna have the feeling of disrespect by invoking, my power over you because I can shoot you and kill you from afar and then, gut you and then fill you up, man. I mean, that to me, that's you sound like you don't seem like you have power. You seem like you're gutless and you're like a big ass punk to do some shit like that to an animal that didn't have shit to do with you, man.
I'll tell you, I had a friend years ago when I was in college. He was a grown man. I was in college, but he had his job. He was already out. He would come in the vitamin store that I ran, and I would help him. He was a bodybuilder. He was a big guy.
Okay.
He was like 6'4", 5", 280, 90 pounds. He wasn't a small guy. Tattoos on his arms and shit. He was a biker kind of guy. He was a nice guy, real super nice guy. And I remember noticing one time on his shoulder, he has this big tattoo right here of this grizzly bear. It's really, really cool tattoo. And what struck me was every time he would come in and pay for supplements, I would see it, and I'm looking at this tattoo, and this grizzly bear's like, ah, and there's snot coming out, and there's fucking shit, and it looks terrifying. I'm like, wow, man. I said, is there a story behind that tattoo? He's like, actually, there is. He said, every year, me and a couple of my friends, we go to Alaska, and we hunt Kodiaks. Kodiaks are some of the biggest motherfucking bears out there. Okay, he said. So we go up there, we hunt these big Kodiaks, and he said I went up several years ago. I was going to spend like so many days there. He said I spent a week there, and he said, man, I didn't see anything the whole week. He said, so I'm perched in a tree. He said I'm in a tree most of the time, just waiting right on a hill. He could survey the land. He could see what's coming. Nothing's coming. So he's like, fuck. He said it was about a half hour before we were going to break and go drive back home. So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to cut out early. Nothing's coming. So he gets out of the tree. And just as he gets out of the tree, of course, he said, I hear this. He says about 50 yards away, there's this big grizzly bear. And it's a female. And she's blowing snot out of her nose and kicking up the dirt. He's like, fuck. She sees me. She's looking at me. He's like, and then she starts to charge.
Oh, wow.
He said, man, she must have her cubs nearby or something because she was fucking hot. And she comes trailing up after him. And as she gets closer, he says he had a 30-06, a sporting rifle, a fucking big-ass caliber weapon. And a 44 Magnum, right? Pistol. So he says, he said, Dad, I unloaded everything I had on that thing. I said, I know I hit it at least 2 times. He said, I dropped my rifle, I grabbed my pistol. It's still coming closer. It's running. It's charging. He says, man, bam, 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 bam. He said, I unload the whole fucking thing. He said, I was getting down to the last fucking bullets. He said, that thing was coming. It was about 10 to 12 feet away from me. He said, I shit you not, Dad. Your life does flash in front of you. I said to myself, this is it. I'm dying. He's like, and he said, just then, the bear drops. Instantly, just boom, right in front of him. He said, literally, man, I thought, I'm fucking dead. This is the way I'm going to die. I don't know, he didn't tell me. But he said, he said the forearm of this bear, they got it back. He got it back to camp. They skinned it. They did all the meat. They ate all the meat. And he said he kept the skin and the head and everything. He kept it for his own use. He didn't throw anything away. But he said that, when I skinned it, that forearm, just one of his forearms was bigger than my quad. That's how big this bear was. He said, this is a big fucking bear. And I said, so he said, after that weekend, got this tattoo based on this weekend because he said, this is the image that I saw. There's this bear. He's a ferocious thing. He's like, ah! And he said, and I promised myself after that I would never fucking do this again. He said, because he said, I got such a different respect. He said, and I think it was because that bear was face to face with him practically.
Right.
You know, it's like, and I think every hunter should look that animal in the face.
Yeah, you should be. You know what, dude? I agree. It should be. You should have some skin in the game.
Yeah, a little bit, at least a little bit. Fuck.
Like, if you gonna kill a lion, like you gotta be. Okay, so like, if you go on if you go into one of those, what is it called, preserves or reserves? Or
like those safaris that they kill those exotics.
Yeah, so if you go, man, like there should be a rule, like you gotta kill it within like 20 feet. Like you gotta be up on it.
I wonder what that would do to the licenses. You like shrink down.
Right, like come on, like you, because to be honest with you, it's like we talked about last week when I told you. I think my prerequisite for becoming a cop, you should be able to go into a room without a weapon, put your hands up and fight whoever they tell you to fight. So if you walk in as Mike Tyson, you walk in because you got to fight. Like if you don't fight, you can't become a cop. You understand that? So I think it should be the same thing when it comes to hunting, man. Because I think that I don't find you powerful because you killed something, man. Like if it ran up on you and your life was in jeopardy, like if your life's in jeopardy, think about it. If you're in the fucking ocean, dude, and the fucking shark rolls up on you, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get bit.
Yeah, you die. That's it. That's a wrap.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
But if I'm gonna go out like a G. I'm gonna poke eyes and I'm gonna scratch. I'm gonna punch. I'm gonna do all kind of stuff because once again, that right there, is that an honest death? You know, is that a noble death? I mean, because you went out, because like, damn, first of all, here's the thing, man. We talked about the aliens last week. If I'm not from there, I'm not swimming around and doing shit as if I'm from there. Like if I'm in Africa, I'm in one of those places where lions and tigers shit walking around. So I'm not walking around. Like I know the shit.
So this draws me to the next topic, which is, and I just have to ask because I want to know what you think. Recently, I saw an article that was written about Justin Bieber, and he was criticized for the dreadlocks that he's been wearing these days. He's been doing some dreads for cultural appropriation, and I think just leave the motherfucker alone. Like if he wants to fucking dread his hair, if he wants to do, he can do that. Like it's just fucking hair. But I get what they're saying. I want to know your perspective. Like how do you feel about it?
You know, it's weird, man, because I think that. Remember when Bo Derek in the movie 10?
Oh, dude, do I remember it? I think I was like obsessed with that movie when it came out.
Right, but if you think about it though, man, that was like the 80s. Was that like 1980?
That was like 1979, 80, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 79. Okay, so think about it, man. Back in the day, you had Bo Derek, you had Pam Grier, you had Diane Carroll. I mean, you think about all these beautiful. White or, you had Raquel Welch. I mean, you had a lot
Linda
of
Carter?
Beautiful. Yeah, who?
Linda Carter? Linda Carter.
I think you said Whoopi Goldberg. I was like, bro.
No. I got my glasses, so I can.
So look, you had like somebody like Bo Derek. Bo Derek wearing hair and cornrows. But even back then, it was controversial. We're wearing the cornrows because it was cultural appropriation. You can't really, but who does have, but think about it, man. If you go back and look at like cornrows and braids and dreadlocks, they have all melanated origins. You know what I mean? They have, that wasn't a European thing. That wasn't, that wasn't, you didn't see a whole bunch you didn't see King Arthur and all them walking around with dreads and shit in their hair. You know what I mean? So, I mean, think about it. If it goes back to what we talked about last week. If you have black friends, you understand you empathize and sympathize with their plight. You understand the cultural, things behind why we do what we do and why we say what we say. If you dip in and you steal the culture thing and utilize, it's like when Jimmy Fallon had the girl, the white lady that got on his show and did all the like TikTok dances.
Oh, I don't watch Jimmy Fallon.
Okay, so but here's the thing, though. She did all TikTok dances that all these little young black kids, and I don't know any other demographic that does these dances, but these are created by like kids on TikTok. But you choose a white lady to come on your show to do all the dances that actually were done by a whole bunch of black kids.
Right. So
it's kind of like you can't go steal from the culture and not empathize or sympathize or reach back and understand what don't
you think that Justin Bieber don't you think he does have some kind of empathy?
Nah, he's from Canada. Dude. I mean,
But just being from Canada doesn't exempt him from not having empathy.
I'm not saying it exempts him. It's just like, okay, think about it like somebody like Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake came out of NSYNC, right?
Right. I like Justin Timberlake.
And Justin Timberlake, man, back in the day they called it blue-eyed soul. White guys that had little sauce on their voices when they come to singing, right? But you look at somebody like Elvis. Elvis, he learned all his moves and all his sound and all his things from all the juke joints that he visited when he was a kid.
Yeah, that's right.
And so did he reach back and say, well, I got this from, this person or that person? No, you went in and stole the culture. You put a little spin.
But isn't that part of what we do as evolving? Like I've taken lots of stuff. I've taken lots of stuff from.
But does that make you right though?
Well, I'm not talking about right and wrong here just yet. But I do think that it's natural to look into our experience. The things that we like, we keep. The things that we don't, we get rid of.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. But check this out though. So he's walking around with dreadlocks, right?
Right.
Or twist or whatever.
And I want to make this clear, Justin. Lose the dreadlocks. You look like shit. Go on.
But think about it. Somebody like so. Reason why I say right or wrong, or people being indifferent about it is because think about it. He can walk around with dreadlocks, but then you have some corporations who won't hire African American with dreads in their hair.
Oh yeah, that's not right. That's not good.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or schools telling kids they can't graduate because they got braids. Or
I guess I'm defending to a certain degree his right to be able to choose from what he experiences for what his preferences are in his life. Like he has the right to choose his preferences.
Yeah,
he doesn't. What he doesn't have the right to do is take those preferences and call them his own. Like these are. Like you can't do that. Like you can't say that this is all me.
If that's the case, then all the people that go tan and all these white folks that want to get darker skin. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like you can't stop it. But I just think that what happens is that, like we talked about it last week. When people go tan, why are you tanning?
Right.
Like why you want your skin darker? Be happy with what you have. Or if you're a white guy, you're a white kid, or whatever, you got straight hair, you want to braid your hair. Think about all the volleyball players and softball players and little white girls and stuff that play in high school, middle school, and college. They braid their hair all the time.
I know. I'm trying to learn new braiding styles for my daughter. That's the truth. I love doing that shit.
Dude, I learned that, man, when Cassie was like 3, dude. I YouTube every
oh, really?
hairstyle and
I just love how it looks of some of the ladies. They could do it really well.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. I think that he can wear his hair any kind of way he wants, man. But you got to realize Justin Timberlake he's amassed all his wealth based on.
It's Justin Bieber who has the dreadlocks.
I mean Justin Bieber, yeah. So he's, but think about all the music he makes.
Yeah. And right, and it's really. I saw a picture of him today. I think he posted today or somewhere of him and his wife, and he's got a beautiful wife. She's some kind of supermodel or something. Nice little couple, but man, dreadlocks on him makes him look like he just got a dirty head, man. Like fucking cut it off and like wash your head.
I don't.
It's because he's got that blonde hair. It's because he's got the blonde hair. I don't like blonde dreadlocks. I don't think it looks good.
If you wanna wear your hair in dreads, man, or you want to get your hair cornrows,
yeah.
And you want to tan your skin. If you want to, if you're a white person, you can sing like Aretha Franklin. Sing like Aretha Franklin. But once again, don't do those things and not respect or appreciate or show empathy or sympathy or understand the plight of who you're stealing from.
Right. Because
once again, it's kind of like goes back when we talk about hunting. If you're going to kill, and you like I said, some cultures when they kill something, they pray over it, or they empathize or sympathize or have gratitude for based on you're feeding my family. You know what I'm saying? Don't sing like a whole brother, and then all of a sudden you get all this amassed all this wealth, and then you don't have nothing. Think about not to switch subject, but Justin Timberlake. He was singing all this blue-eyed soul, but then he made a country album.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It was actually.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like he can dip in and out when he wants to. Like if you're a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like
did you see? So this reminds me, back when he was like in the mid 2000s, like 2004 or 5. Do you remember when that show Punk'd was really popular?
Yeah.
So he was punked with what's his name?
Ashton Kutcher.
So Ashton Kutcher punked him. It was fucking hilarious because he got a bunch of I can't remember exactly what happened. It was essentially this, where he confronted Justin Timberlake with a bunch of these black guys who were supposedly other rappers or something. And they were like, he was like, hey, bro. And they were like, what the fuck you mean, man? What are you talking about? and he's like, no. I didn't mean anything bad about it. He was totally, and then what I liked about it was after they said, oh, man, you guys just got punked. He was like, he played a good sport about it. He was a good sport. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, you got me. You guys got me. He's like, but he was totally, you could tell he was trying to be very sensitive about the cultural appropriation that he was doing, that he was actually doing in his music.
You wouldn't flinch if you think about it like this though, Tad. You wouldn't flinch if you respect.
Right.
Like you wouldn't flinch if you think about it like this. Like even if like when Bo Derek did her cornrows back in the 70s or whatever, she got a lot of backlash behind that, but then she was like very defensive about it.
Really? I don't remember that part.
Yeah. You got to read the whole backstory about it. Like, she was real defensive at first about it until she gathered some information and gathered the understanding. Once again, it goes back to what we talked about last week. You have to gain a perspective of who you're going to, if you're going to dip into somebody's culture, gain a perspective before you dip into it. Because once again, like me being a black man, I can't go into a place I can't take this skin off.
Right.
But then I can say, hello, how are you, Tom? How you doing? You're doing great. You're doing well. That still doesn't change. That still doesn't change this though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be a whole black dude and sing country music, but you know what? I can't wash this off.
Right.
But you know what a white entertainer can do? They can change the inflection in their voice. They can change the tone of how they sing a song. They can put a nice little hip hop beat behind it, and you know what? That song will be played on a black radio station.
Right.
But you know what they also can do? They can switch it and go pop.
Right.
And then sing all the teeny boppers out here. So once again, cultural appropriation, I think, goes hand in hand when it comes to gaining a perspective or understanding of what culture that you're trying to appreciate. If you're showing appreciation, show the appreciation and understand it. But you know why you can't do that? Because you don't want to lose the audience in which you're trying to sing to.
Oh.
Think about hip hop. Hip hop. You know who buys the most hip hop in this country?
Who?
White kids.
Of course they do. Yes.
Right. So I'm at the gym the other day, man. 2 white kids, they pull up. and look, now, real talk, man, because I just had this conversation with a friend of mine, man. Check this out. So they were bumping the music all loud, all kind of N-words coming out the music and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, how dare how dare you, but I can't say anything because I can't tell you what to purchase, what to listen to.
Right.
But how do you explain that? You listen to music that has the N-word all in it. Then when you see a black person see that you're listening to that type of music, you feel some kind of way. Why would you feel some kind of way about it? Because, right, if I wasn't around, you'll be reciting every word of that rap song. So I think it goes hand in hand with what we talked about last week. Is you need to gain and garner a respect for the culture that you're appreciating. If you appreciate hip hop, understand that you listen to it because you gain the understanding of the black plight or whatever. Like you know what I like, man? I would love to go to China. I don't know if you've ever been to China.
I have been. Yes, I have, but not. No. I take that back. I haven't been. I want to go.
I would love to go to China. The reason why I love to go to China is I've always.
They would love you, man. They would love you. I'm going to tell you this for a fact. They would love you, and here's the reason why: because they love big black bodybuilders. I'm not kidding you.
I've heard that.
They Japan's thing.
But I've always appreciated their culture. I've always appreciated like Japanese. I would love to go to Japan.
Oh, me too. Let's take the podcast to Osaka.
Oh, hell yeah, that'd be awesome as hell. But but think about it. You think about like cultures like that, and it's like I would never dip into that culture and then identify with it. I would appreciate the culture. I would understand it. I would try to gain a perspective. And because the reason being is because that's what we all need to do. We got to gain appreciation for each other's culture and respect.
Right. And we talked about this last time. That's the easiest way. What you're describing is to find those similarities that we were talking about, finding similarities instead of differences.
Yeah,
that's the easiest way to do it.
Like if you don't, so Justin Bieber wants to wear his hair, and just because you hang around a whole bunch of black people, don't make you black.
I don't think he does.
I remember dating a young lady who was white, man, years ago, man, and I remember one time she asked me if she could say the N-word. And I'm sure many brothers who've dated, white women or whatever, or I'm sure they.
You could say it.
I might not like it.
But she asked me, right? She asked me if she could say it, but she didn't ask me as if she was going to say it. She just asked me.
Oh, as a general statement.
Yeah, general statement. I said, as intimate as our relationship is, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that.
No, yeah.
I said the reason being is because it's a very, it's one of those words like just like I talked to somebody that was a gay guy that said, man, I said, but if I called you queer, that'd be offensive. But I've heard you call another gay guy queer. And call
but they can do it because they're gay. They can do it because they're gay.
Right. Just like I explained, I said, so think about like black people. Like you said, like if I call somebody that.
So here's
a conversation.
I got strong opinions about this. Here's what I've believed. This is what I personally think. That if you want people to not use that word in the derogatory sense, like the N word or any other word, queer or whatever word we choose, it doesn't matter what the word is. Then I think everyone's got to give it up. Everyone's got to give it. Everyone's got to give it up.
Dude, I totally fucking agree with you.
Because you're always gonna have some asshole that says, "Well, fucking we says it. Why can't I say it?" It's like, fucking no. You got to study history.
Like, here's the thing about like somebody that's gay, right?
Right.
Dude, I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're transgender. I respect all people. I've had an agent that is, and what's interesting, the reason why this agent's like grew super tight with me, one of my employees, is because out the gate, when you gave me the pronoun, I used it. I didn't make a mistake. I didn't slip up.
What do you mean?
So, you gotta say them or they and things.
Oh, they don't want it. Right. Gotcha.
So at the onset of meeting this particular person, I initially started using pronouns.
So what are you supposed to? So they're transgender, right?
Yeah.
So what pronoun are you supposed to use with this person? Just them?
Like them,
they. So what do you use for the non-binary? I'm not clear about this. What do you use for? What's the proper term for a non-binary person? Okay, because that's the newest thing, right? Like that's the new one, right?
It gets confusing after a while, but
we can't just be people.
But here's the thing: it goes back to what we talked about. Like, it's just respect, man.
Right.
Absolutely. Respect. It's just respect. So someone wants to be, a guy wants to be a girl wants to be a guy, or somebody wants to be in between. Once again, I'm okay. That's what you're choosing. If you like, think about it, man. Some people like feet. I don't really get into feet. But the thing is, like, the beach yourself on, dude.
I don't either, bro. I'm with you on this, okay?
Right,
but I know some people who got some weird foot fetishes.
But I think it's a respect thing, man. I think that if you're gonna wear your hair in dreadlocks and you wanna get twists and things like that, don't do it to rob. Don't dip into a culture to take something from it and then utilize it. But then as soon as the shit hits the fan, you can dump it as quickly as possible. And be like, oh, no, just like I should think about back in the day, man. I told somebody, I said, look, you think about somebody like a black guy dating a white woman or something like, or a white guy dating, anybody dating outside their, particular demographic, right? And when you date that person, you should have an appreciation and an understanding of who they are and who you're dating.
Absolutely.
As soon as the respect is thrown out the window, like, that person can jump on the other side of the fence and pretend like they ain't even deal with you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like one of those things. Like, why are you like? I asked somebody, a black woman that was dating, or I think she's married to a white guy. I said, "Is it a fetish?"
Is it dating the white guy?
Because no, on the opposite, the white guy for black woman, because that is a fetish. That is a fetish.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
a white guy that dates a black woman.
Or vice versa, like somebody gets into something. No, what's your intent?
So I like a nice ass and big titties, and that make me a fetish.
You might be
I'm just joking,
man. That's a whole.
I'm just joking.
But it's like one of those things. Like if you're gonna do something like that, man, respect the person, respect the culture, respect the race, respect them to the point to where your intent is noble. You're dating them because you love them. You're dating them because they're a person. You're dating them because they're opposite sex or whatever.
Did you ever ask your ex-girlfriend, the one that you were talking about before, why she would even want to use that word in the first place?
Because of the music.
Oh, okay.
Because of the music. Because it's kind of like one of those things. Like, think about it, man. You got a whole bunch of a group of white teenagers in a basement listening to rap music. You think they're not repeating every word they hear in the song?
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Right. And I was watching the movie one time, man. It was some group of white kids, man, and they were like using the N word, like they were using it, calling each other that. And I was like, I've heard it, on the south side of Indianapolis. I've seen white kids walk around and say it, and it's kind of like being in a, you know how Superman has the bizarro world,
right?
It's kind of like, what did you say? They weren't talking to me, but I heard you call him that. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And it's like one of those things, like, like you made a comment about inevitably, the world is going to be like mixed.
Yeah.
But we already are mixed.
Absolutely.
I mean, we already are mixed. We're a cornucopia of so many different cultures and ethnic groups and just herbs and spices.
I was reading a report that said easily within the next, I think it was 50 or 100 years, that most of the world will be mixed to some degree or another. And
I mean, it's only natural.
Right now, the places of the highest degree of homogeneity are Asia, India, all in Asia, and let's see, and some parts of South America.
I mean, I can agree.
But everywhere else, it's pretty.
But like, so check this out, man. I've grown an interest in understanding the Afro-centric demographics in particular regions, like in Mexico.
Okay.
There's Mexicans that are my complexion.
Right. Yeah. There's some Indians that way too.
Yeah. You go. So you go to South America. There's
I got friends who are Tongan and who are Samoan who look like you.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, you go anywhere, man. I think the whole world, man, is just a big ass petri dish, man, of just different cultures mixed up, and then we just identify with based on the single.
I tend to think that you put most people in the sun long enough, we'll all pretty much look alike.
Eventually, dude. It's like
eventually we're all gonna look alike.
I know, people will probably listen and think, man, like, dude, you guys, like, you want everybody. But at the end of the day, man, we've been inundated with so much negativity and so much bad in our world that we get so far removed from like the positive or the good things about who we are as human beings.
Yeah, I actually recently started following this different Instagram page purely because I have to see good stuff. So it's called the Good News Movement, and all they post is good stories about people doing loving, kind things. It's really I look forward to seeing their post every day. Because they just, like, I saw one guy rescue a little kitten out of a freeway. Somebody and he stopped traffic so he could get this little kitten. And then just stupid stuff like that. That's just very small. Or somebody helping somebody else out. Or I saw one guy give some homeless guy some food and stuff like that. Just really nice things like that. Like, I think that I like to fill my head with stories like that. That's what that inspires me. That kind of stuff. But to me, I would be more. I would hope that we'd have news outlets that focus only on that. That's what my idea was a couple years ago. I thought, hey man, all these news stations, all they do is present bad information. It's like everything is going wrong, or the negative perspective on everything. It's like everything is a pessimistic point of view, right? It's what's going wrong in the world, who's dying, who did this, and they're not even. And most of the stuff isn't even fucking newsworthy, in my opinion. It's just hearsay. It's just conjecture. It's just looking at things a little from a very strange angle. But what if we had like a news station or a news outlet that only produced good stories that would inspire people, stories that would make people feel good, stories that would show people the other side that really is a more dominant side of life. Because I'm looking around if aliens came down to our planet and looked at just the news and our newspapers and our news to see what was going on here, they would think that we were fucking imploding.
Yeah,
they would think that we fucking hate everybody. We hate each other.
Destroying each other anyway.
Yeah, so fuck you. Bam!
Like, you're like, oh damn, we just blew up. What the hell? What they watch?
Damn! Yeah, man. Well, all right. So this weekend we got a couple shows. There's a show here in Phoenix. We should talk about some bodybuilding shit for like a couple minutes. And I think the Indiana Pro is coming up pretty soon, right? Indy Pro?
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Next week I think no.
Or no, it's
it is next weekend because I'm thinking because Tuesday, Sunday is the 2nd, Yeah, it's next weekend.
That's the one that Manny's in, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's the same show. They have a pro show with it, right?
Yep.
Okay. I wish I could have judged that one. That would have been nice. And then New York Pro's coming up pretty soon.
Yep. That's going to be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Blessing and that Nick guy.
Nick Walker?
Yeah.
So what do you think, man?
I mean, I mean, Nick is...
He's big.
Huge, dude.
He's a big fucker.
He's a big kid, man. It's funny how... Isn't it funny how in bodybuilding, man, generation to generation, so think about when, like, Lee Haney came on the scene. Lee Haney was massive. You know, he was only like 240-something.
Yeah. And he was,
like
I remember, and in the 80s, they were saying the word around the street was that Lee Haney was a couple of years ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
He was big. Yeah.
He was big, but then Dorian came, and then everybody, Dorian was like, in order for me to compete against Lee Haney, I got to get bigger. And then all of a sudden, Ronnie Coleman came along and was like, you know what, I got to get bigger. Jay Cutler competed with that. Then Phil came, morphed the whole... And then you look at guys like this younger generation, like Hunter Labrada. Those guys,
They're
man.
big.
I mean, that's big as fuck, dude.
He's big.
Gigantic, man. Those are big
with
dudes.
a tiny little waist. I'm really impressed with Hunter Labrada. Really impressed with him.
His dad was aesthetics. Labrada had a physique.
Oh, Lee Labrada had a wonderful physique, actually. The only problem with Hunter's physique, and I hate to say this because, sorry, Hunter, man, I think he's a great competitor, but he's just is dog ugly, man.
I didn't pay attention to him.
He's got a face that only a mother could love, in my opinion.
Well,
I mean, I think he's probably a fucking really stellar guy. He's probably super nice, but yeah, it's gonna hold him back, man.
Let's talk about that. 'Cause look, so think about it. Think about the bodybuilders that we grew up on. I mean, back in the day, bodybuilding was very symmetrical, aesthetics. Guys, you got good-looking guys. Everybody was coming up, and then things start to change, and then more and more guys start getting into bodybuilding and start competing and shit like that. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, you look at somebody like he's already eating, man. He's not starving over there. His dad got a supplement company still killing the game for all these years. And you look at somebody like Nick. I mean, a lot of these guys are coming up, man, with all the failings and all the things that we didn't have back in the 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They have the privilege of all the technology and all the science.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I remind people of this all the time. Like, hey, man, you don't know how lucky you really got it. Like,
hell yeah, because I remember, dude, you remember when creatine monohydrate first came out?
I do remember that. Yes, I do.
Hey, dude, it was in muscular development, and I was like, I remember I saw it. I was like, boom.
Dude, I remember reading about Ripped Fuel getting excited.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff back then was like, that's when they
had ephedrine in it, man.
That's when they used to throw everything. Stem was in everything. Right?
Yeah.
I remember getting creatine monohydrate. I remember ordering a whole case of that shit, man, like 6 containers. I'm about to get massive. Man, the first drink gave me the shits, dude.
Yes, because it was the old version, yeah.
It was the old version. And I'm thinking to myself, like, some of these, I remember when creatinine, when that came on the scene, was about 20 years ago, whatever.
Yep, that's about right.
And that was like, a more buffered creatine. It's more
bioavailable.
Yeah. So it's kind of like these younger guys, man, they have the privilege of all the technology and things.
They have it at their fingertips. You just get on your fucking phone or you get on the internet. It's all at your fingertips. If you know where to look, it's all at your fingertips. So people are always asking me, like, what book should I read? I'm like, there's no books out there really that are.
No book for this shit.
But you can go out there and do some research. You can go out there and do research. You can go out there and really, really, and the best, I think personally, I still think that just talking to people who are experienced, talking to the experienced people who've been there and done there, talk to those people. It's like, if I wanted to learn about war, I'm not going to talk to a private. I'm going to talk to a general. Give me a general, man.
How many stars you got on your shoulder? 4? All right, well, let's talk. I need to fight.
And I want to win.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, we live in a world of like this social media driven culture, man, to where, a lot of, I remember I was talking to a young guy, man. He asked me a question. He said, man, dude, how old are you? I like 50. He's like, no shit. Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's what people say. That's what people say to me too. Really?
Right. And they look at you, and they're like, oh my god, dude.
I think you and I are the next breed of
I don't know how to put it, like middle-aged people, because I don't consider myself middle-aged, even though I technically am.
And but you don't really.
I don't look like it. I don't act like it. I don't do the same stuff. I mean, I go to festivals. I go, like I do this stuff that kids who are like 20 and 30 do.
Let me ask you this question. Fuck that. Let me ask you this question. Me personally, man, like we're 50.
Right.
So do you date like women that are 50?
No. Too much baggage, man, and I hate to say that. I mean, if the right one came around, absolutely would. I would.
She would have to be on my level as far as like.
No. I agree. The same thing.
You date somebody. I'm not knocking it, because I'm sure it's a whole bunch of beautiful ass 50-year-old women out there that they can probably run circles around us. But the thing is that like when you stand in front of somebody, man, that's your age, and you look at them and you look at yourself, and you're like, what the hell happened?
What happened to you?
Was life rough? But it's kind of like one of those things where, like, this young guy was talking to me, and I said I was 50. He said, well, damn, how much you weigh? I said, well, shit, I weighed in this morning at 266. Damn, for real? He said, yeah, I mean, and he's talking to me. He said, he started naming all these names, and I'm trying to figure out who he's talking about. And I'm like, man, do you follow such and such? Do you follow this person? You follow? I'm like,
you're like, man, I feel out of place now, man. I don't know who anybody you're fucking talking about.
I'm like, who are these people? Oh man, I follow him on the gram, and I follow him on Twitter, and I'm like, are they like gurus? Like, now he's around, like, he's only like 27, 28. Oh, so they have no experience. So you following. It's like a cult culture.
Yes.
They follow beliefs and ideologies based on who has the huger following.
Or based on, and it's based on these qualities that the reason why they're famous oftentimes has solely to do with the way they look, or what they're doing at the moment, or how much money they have, or these kinds of things. These very superficial type of things. I rarely see people, these big social media influencers, I rarely see them having any, I hate to say this because I don't want to make a blanket statement, but in general, I don't see a lot of substance. I see a lot of pretty faces, a lot of pretty bodies, and that's fine, but that's not a reason for me to follow somebody necessarily. I might.
I mean, if I follow, so when he brought up one name, pulled out his phone, he showed me the guy, and I didn't know who he was. I looked at his physique. I was like, he must be a physique, classic physique guy. I mean, he didn't have any mass or whatever. He's like, yeah, I should do this for my delts and stuff like that. I'm like,
you're taking advice from this dude?
Dude, I said, but he don't really have big delts, though. Like, I'm not. If I want, like my arms are 20 inches to over 20 inches. I'm not gonna talk to somebody with 14-inch arms how to get 20-inch arms.
Right.
Like it just, but like I said, it's like a cult. It's like they whoever has the hugest following, they'll follow, and their word is bond as far as what they say. And it's unfortunate because I think you get a lot of bad information and a lot of failed principles and practices when it comes to bodybuilding and how to. Like I told somebody the other day, like she was like, how can I get abs? I said, well,
you already have them, hopefully.
I said, you might want to add a little resistance to your abs, just a little bit. I mean, it's okay to do a whole bunch of planks and shit, but you might want to add a little resistance because you have to look at the ab as muscles as well. You got to build them. They'll pop out.
Not to mention, you got to clear the fat away so you can see them.
Right. I'm like, like you can't just do a whole bunch of planks and then you go get a six-pack. The six-pack, to me, I think, in the kitchen, if you're,
it's a function diet.
And I think that, like, you can look at somebody, you look at these younger guys. Like, I remember watching a video about what Blessing made a comment about how he has this persona, this character. I didn't realize that was the same guy that was making these videos years ago of these bodybuilding meme videos. I didn't realize that was him.
Oh, really?
I saw one. Yeah, he had one. He had some. He said when bodybuilders see a surveillance camera in the shirt, and he took his shirt off. And I was like, so then I understood because we live in that culture. So there's an evolution of how, you can't be archaic in your how you want to present yourself as a bodybuilder. I know I gotta take a couple more pictures. I know I gotta probably post some pictures, just to get some following and shit like that. But it's not natural to me. Because I grew up in there with shit. It was one mirror on the fucking wall in the gym,
right?
And the only time you were looking there, if you just walked past it, you wouldn't be
shit. My idea of social media growing up was go to the park and see who's there.
Right. I mean, that's it. I mean, hey, what's going on? Like, look, what WYD? I mean, like, wait, what you doing? Nothing, just chilling, standing here. What's going on with you?
Exactly. You want to ride our bikes over here? Okay, let's do that.
Right. You know, and I mean that's how it was. But
I don't claim that yesteryear was better than today, but I do claim that today has some inherent problems built into the nature of what the youth look up to. And some of it's good, and some of it's not so good. Like I think I saw a poster that said something about we have a culture right now of the current youthful culture is like this hustle culture. They all want to make money. They all want to be influencers. They all want to have their side hustles and make money and be their own boss and be entrepreneurs and that's like and that's cool. But and that's one. I think that's a reasonably good aspect of our. But then there's also this incredible focus on materialism.
Oh man, that's like a whole belief system by itself.
It's like whoa, man. Like, I mean, I can't. I'm not waking up next to a Louis Vuitton or my fucking Lambo or whatever. It doesn't make me feel good. Like that stuff, I can't cuddle up to that shit. That stuff doesn't give me peace of mind, give me peace of heart. None of that stuff does.
Because it's control. It's control, though. Think about it. Think about the hustle culture. If social media didn't exist, would the hustle culture still exist, though? Would it even manifest itself? Would it? Because think about it.
Probably not.
Think about it, man. If it's wielded like it's like. You ever see a flock of birds?
Yep.
Like a huge flock of birds, and you see them swoop down and do stuff,
and they all move at the same time.
Right.
One moves.
And birds are they pretty much their trajectory and how they fly is pretty much dictated and predicated by the wind. They don't control the wind.
No.
The wind control. They flow and fly based on the wind, right? So think about how these kids. If there was a bodybuilder, he wasn't really a bodybuilder, but he was like all synthanoled out and shit like that. Boston something.
Oh, Boston Lloyd. Yeah, Boston.
Okay. He was a joke.
Yeah.
He was a joke. And the thing is that he had a huge following.
Huge.
For what? But for what?
At the time he was being very honest about what he did and all that stuff, and so people were. I think they appreciated the fact that he would just tell you. Look, I'm going to use this, and this. Of course, recently
he wasn't winning.
No, he's not that good of a bodybuilder. But I actually talked to him several times. He reached out to me several times. He's actually a nice guy, but I don't agree with his philosophies in taking drugs. I don't believe in the same things. But recently, he had some health scare. He actually was using some new experimental compound from somewhere, and it like screwed up his kidneys a little bit, and he had to kind of take some time off and to rehab himself back. But he did. But yeah, I think it was just his honesty that people liked, because what he was telling them to do, or what he was telling everybody that he was doing, which he was doing, I believe that he was doing it, was just insane stuff. It wasn't good. They were not good protocols. But that was his way of finding out. I just don't think you should experiment on your body.
I mean, you remember years ago, man, when remember it was the Jarrell Chronicles, and I think it was in Muscular Development, where you had bodybuilders talking about their cycles and stuff like that.
And half that shit was lies.
I mean, I know, man, but the honest part of the sport has always been the honesty behind the sport's never been asked for. It's never no one really, because think about it, it's kind of like. It's kind of like if it was asked for, like, I've just educated somebody the other day. I said, do you realize, less than 5% of all like drugs and shit are used by like athletes and bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Most of it's used in hospitals. And they were like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, you can Google that. I said, because the thing is that that's a controlled narrative. So do you think, like I said, with the hustle culture, if social media didn't exist, where would kids know about hustling?
They would.
Hustling is not new. Grinding and getting your money and making it happen is not brand new.
But the new part of it is that those guys who learned how to hustle, they're telling people how to do it now. They're sharing it with other people. This is what I do. Like guys like and some of the guys I admire, like Gary V, like Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary V's the truth, man.
Dude, man.
Gary
And he's a guy that's all about hustle, man. He's all about the hustle.
But think about what he came from, though. He came from,
That's right.
He came from his father hustling and grinding, building his company, that wine company, whatever. He put his stamp on it.
That's right.
Hustled a little bit harder. But once again, he had a good head start.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he had a good head start, but then he shows you how to build it and parlay that into something better and something bigger. But once again, just because everybody's telling you, think about a pyramid scheme. If I'm making money and I pull up in a Bentley and I tell you I'm part of this new company and this is how you do it, it's not all applicable to everybody.
No.
Not everybody has the same hustle, the same drive.
Yeah, in a pyramid scheme, only the people at the top really get paid.
And those are the ones that have the advertising and marketing and putting themselves out there. So it's like it's okay for most of these kids. Like, come on, dude, I'm a whole manager, man, and I got people that's willing to quit their jobs and get fired because they're gonna go out here and grind and hustle. I don't want to work for nobody anymore. What you gonna do? I understand that you need this right now so you can springboard yourself up into the next level of your own hustle and doing your own thing, but they don't see that. All they see is people hustling. It's like a facade. It's like I'm showing you the hustle, but I'm not telling you. Think about most celebrities, dude. They'll tell you all these good positive quotes about grinding and hustling, but they never show you their grind. Like, you never see their grind.
Not really. No.
You never see, like, Will Smith will post a good quote, but you didn't see his grind from zero to now. I mean,
I'm sure he did.
Again, and most of these kids don't see that. Most of the kids don't see from zero to success. Get the door. Get the door, sweetie.
I can't wait till my little person comes.
When's she coming?
She's coming. I got to buy her plane ticket. I got to buy like second week of June, I think. Right? Oh no! I take that back. Right, the day after my birthday, the 6th.
Okay.
So I'm flying in. I'm flying back from Denver, and she's flying over from Pittsburgh.
Okay, but you know what? But is this the time when she's coming and she's gonna tell you that she wants to stay?
And that's next year. When she's 13, she can decide that. She can make that choice.
Okay.
And I'll probably work it out with her mom. I'm thinking that I'll just let her mom keep her for the summer, so that way we get a fresh start. And I'll just get her early so we can get a fresh start for her school. But we'll see what happens. Whatever. All right. Well, before we've been on this for like an hour and 40. Let's talk about, before we end this. We normally do I'm going to save our bullshit and bliss for next week, because I want to prepare some funny ones. But is there anything? What else were we going to? We were going to talk about. We were going to mention one other thing about. Oops. Oh, are you there? Well, looks like we lost the connection, I think. No matter. This was pretty much the end. I think we're going to talk about tattoos this week or next week, but we'll talk about next week. All right, my friend. Let's see. Thank you for being on the show again this week. I will talk to you next week. All right, Darrick? We'll be talking about some new topics. Thank you, everybody, and peace out.